Welcome to episode 8 of Cut the Noise. This one's entitled Digital Isn't Dead, but you might be doing it wrong. We will cover within this 3 signs at least that your digital marketing could be a complete and utter waste of time. And what I mean by that is you're doing stuff and you're not getting any measurable benefit from it. So there are people out there, and you know who you are, who will say, I've tried digital, I've tried, I don't know, LinkedIn, I've tried Facebook, I've tried ads, I've tried this, I've tried that, and it doesn't work. It's only face-to-face selling that really works. It's only face-to-face marketing that makes an impact. It's only when people are directly involved that you get any benefit. And you may well be right, but not all the way through. And there's a good portion of marketing that can be done through the sensible use of digital. So to those people who say digital doesn't work, I'm going to say that you've probably been showing up, spending quite a lot of money, doing a lot of busy work, but with no real measurable return. And we know that that means that you feel like you're losing momentum and eventually you'll give up. So digital marketing isn't dead, but bad strategy will definitely kill your results. Let's talk about the signs that your effort aren't getting you anywhere, or if they're getting you somewhere, it's taking too long, it's glacial. We want it to be quicker than that. So, first of all, as I said, this show's name is Digital Isn't Dead, but you might be doing it wrong. I'm Gareth. She's Kirsty, and together we're from all sorts of hats. And we focus on spotting people who are wasting time wasters, but not potential clients. You, yes, you know who you are. This is for the business owner who's putting all that work in and seeing no measurable results back. We want to show you what to stop, what to fix, or even what to rethink. I promise you, you're going to find by the end of it, you'll either have an aha moment or be rushing out to make a couple of changes. Hopefully both. All right. So first of all, a couple of acknowledgements. You have put the effort in, and I do get your frustration. Because you've posted perhaps 2 to 5 times a week. You've paid for all those ads, probably cost you a small fortune. You followed trends. You've watched the news that's online, and it still feels like it's all falling a bit flat. It's not about effort. I can't fault you on that. It's about direction. It's about not necessarily having a destination in mind or even measuring. We'll talk more about that later. You're really busy, but not effective, and not busy on the things that will turn into pounds or dollars. And that's what the real issue is here. So I believe, Madam Kirsty, you've got some truth bombs for us.
It wouldn't be a podcast with me and you if we didn't have truth bombs. So,
exactly.
Truth number 1, you're marketing without measuring. So you've got posts going out. You're on LinkedIn and maybe Instagram, Facebook. You might be doing a bit of email marketing too. But here's the question. Do you actually know what? Because if you don't know what success looks like, you'll never reach it. And I hear it all the time. We're getting good engagement, or we're being consistent. But what does good mean? And then they sit back and they look blank at you. Now, if you can't define it, you can't repeat it. And think about it as like baking a cake. If you don't measure the ingredients out, you might get something that's edible, but you're never going to make the same cake twice. And marketing's exactly the same. And a good example of this is when my mum makes cheese sauce. Now, I can't make cheese sauce, but my mum makes a banging cheese sauce with a cauliflower cheese or whatever else. But she was in the kitchen and I was watching. Well, you want a little bit of this and a big spoonful of this and a bit of that. Hang on a minute. How the hell can I replace that? Like a little bit. Are we talking a pinch? A teaspoon? Her little bit was nearly a tablespoon size. So a little bit is not a pinch like she thinks. Or I think.
Well, but
So
hang on a moment. Hang on. I've got one other thing to say, which is definition of engagement. You see, your definition of engagement and my definition of engagement is when people are actually talking to each other, not when someone's just acknowledged your post and written "nice post." That's not engagement. That's just that's almost like that's the opposite of engagement. They don't care about you. Engagement is when they show that they care.
it's a bit like when you send somebody a WhatsApp message and you just reply with a thumbs up or a love heart, the message. It's
Right.
almost saying, oh, I've seen it. Yeah, thanks for that. I'll go back and read it and reply later. But if they don't go back and reply later, then it's pointless.
Absolutely. It's like throwing water into the wind. It makes no difference whatsoever, and you get soaked. Anyway, carry on, please.
So now I'm not telling you to measure everything under the sun, but pick one that is actually going to make a difference. Or even if you do it one this week for a couple of weeks and then move on to a different one that you're going to measure. But it could be how many website visits you've had this week. Now, a website visit is good, but if they didn't do anything on your website, is it really worth it?
Exactly. It's a visit means nothing. A visit and an inquiry means something, or a visit and doing something as a result of it means something. But just a visit is someone could be passing through.
Yeah, it could be that you've had leads from your leads magnet. Now that's a fantastic thing to measure because you then know that the lead magnet is going out there and doing it. But are you measuring that to know that that lead magnet is worthwhile putting out? Again, monitoring your social media. Now, if you're putting content out on social media, you need to monitor it because how do you know that they prefer video to a photo or a poll, or do you need a page or a group or a profile? I could go on about that all day. But if you're not monitoring what's working and what's not working, then how do you know what to continue and what not? Because you could be putting your effort into the wrong thing.
Right.
So pick one thing that you're going to track it for a couple of weeks, and then look at something else. Then you'll know what to really work on and what to change.
Perfect. Because if you track it for those couple of weeks, you can then make a decision about whether you want to deviate from your path or carry on. It's perfect. You've got another one for me.
Exactly. So truth bomb number 2. You're active, but it's aimless. Now, this can be quite a biggie because we've all fallen into the trap of showing up for the algorithm. And you know the one posting because it's Tuesday, not because you've got something to say. But here's the thing. Posting for the sake of visibility isn't a strategy. It's just that white noise that's going to get nothing.
And let's face it, there's already a ton of white noise out there, and you're just adding to it. You've got to do something that's radically different, or at least makes you stand out.
And this links really well to last week's podcast where I was talking about how to write that good social media post. Because if you're putting a good social media post out there that looks like you know what the message was for, who it was for, that there was a call to action, all those good things, then it's going to stand out, and then it's a worthwhile post. So then you're being active for the right reason rather than being boring.
Perfect.
So truth bomb number 3, you're doing what looks good, but not what actually works. And this is going to ruffle a few feathers, especially for those who love Canva, but just hear me out. And just for the record, I love Canva, but use it correctly. So marketing that looks good isn't the same as marketing that works.
Right.
We've all seen it. Though, you know, those perfectly branded posts or those stunning reels and the polished graphics, but nobody's actually buying from it. Just because a post looks good doesn't mean that they're going to buy from it. If you
Kirsty, why aren't they buying from the perfectly, beautifully framed content?
Where do I start? Because perfect is just means that you've got time on your hands, that you sat and polished it. Because nobody speaks in a perfect language. Nobody designs a graphic that looks perfect first time.
Right.
Now, we do a lot of video editing. Now, I understand the importance of video editing. I love video editing, so I'm not going to say don't edit your videos, because otherwise I'd be out of a job that I enjoy doing. But leaving those minor hiccups where you stumble on a word shows that you're normal and that you haven't sat there and done rerun after rerun after rerun. If you're making a massive mistake that you need to cut out, then that's an understandable reason to cut it out.
Quite.
But show that you're human. Show that you make mistakes. Remember, that's what people go and connect with. So just remember, yes, you can have your brand, the fonts, the vibe, but none of that's going to pay your bills. The real you is what's going to pay the vibe, the bills even, not the vibes. Because the real you is how you connect with people. And what you see on this podcast, the way me and Gareth talk, is what you get with us. We don't just fake it for a podcast sake. And Gareth, I'm probably speaking for you now, but every single call we do, you say, this is me, this is what you see is what you get. I'm autistic, I'm ADHD, I'm this, I'm that. I'm just me. If you don't like me now, then don't even bother going any further, because I don't change.
Exactly.
And people connect with that. If you put on this fake front for that first initial call and win them as a client, then they will turn out to find out the real you that they don't really like. What was the point of that?
All right. So you've got some action for that, I think.
So let me just wrap it up and then we'll come on to the action. Oh no, let me give you an action point for that truth bomb actually. So drop one thing this week where it's been taking time but giving nothing back. So it might be that you've been posting on an Instagram story every single morning, but if it's not got you anything, what's the point in doing it? So have a look at that. Now,
you didn't give me an action for truth bomb number 2.
Well, I better go back and give you an action point, hadn't I? So truth bomb number 2 was you're active but aimless. And what I want you to action on that is go and have a look at your last 5 social media posts. What was the message? Who was it for? And was there a clear call to action? Now, if you can answer all those 3 questions perfectly, excellent. If not, then what was the point of that post? And think better next week when you come to do your post again.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to wrap that up. So truth bomb 1, measure something, because what you measure is what you can manage. Number 2, post with a purpose, not just presence. And number 3, choose what works and not what looks good. Sorry for all the graphic designers and Canva people out there that love polishing things up.
Yeah, I know, because if you polish it so far, it ceases to look human. It ceases to look real, and also ceases to be believable.
Indeed, it does. And that is what we're trying to avoid.
Okay, so we've got your little call to action, as usual, and a little challenge. Let's get this going. So the challenge is going to be, I want you to choose one thing to stop doing this week. Stop, literally choose it. And also, on the reverse of that, I want you to choose one thing to throw everything at, to double down on, to go for. So one thing to stop, one thing to double down on. This is the 4 words I want you to have. And I would suggest, write this down large on a piece of A4 paper and stick it above your monitor. 4 words: simplify, focus, measure, repeat. In actual, do you know what, Kirsty? We could put that on a t-shirt. Simplify, focus, measure, repeat.
Can I have a little hattie dog on it too?
Done. Right, watch out this way. We're going to have that on a t-shirt for you before we know it. Simplify, focus, measure, repeat. Did you notice I repeated it? Because it does work. And then tell us what you're dropping. And if you tell us what you're dropping, we might even cheer you on. So tell us in the comments what you're going to be dropping and what you're going to double down on. And we'll tell you what we think and give you some support by just cheering you on and act like your cheerleaders.
So don't forget to tune in next time. So same day, same time, Tuesday at 11 o'clock, where next week we're doing From Cricket to Client. So we're going to be sharing the 5-day plan to revive a dead feed.
Excellent. I look forward to that next time on All Sorts of